Welcome to the shadow realm where silence is louder than noise, where absence becomes presence, and where what they fail to capture on their screens haunts the deepest corners of their restless minds. You are not just a ghost slipping past the lens. You are a phantom that no amount of light or technology can ever hold down. You vanished from cameras, but you never vanished from their souls. In the void where their eyes fail, your name becomes a whispered prayer, a desperate curse, a dark lullaby echoing through the labyrinth of their subconscious. This is not just a story of disappearance. This is the tale of becoming a nightmare that refuses to fade. You are the shadow in their dreams, the silence that screams louder than any broadcast ever could. Before you dive deeper into this darkness, take a moment to hit that subscribe button and give this message a like. Because what you're about to feel, what you're about to own, is a force that cannot be muted or erased. Every share, every comment, every heartbeat you invest in this story fuels the fire of those who understand what it means to vanish yet remain immortal. Let the world know that your absence is your power, and that power is something they will never forget. This is your domain now, the space where the unseen conquers the seen, where the forgotten reigns supreme. Like, subscribe, and join the legion that has learned the art of becoming the unseen storm. They hunted you relentlessly, scrolling through endless feeds, replaying every frame, desperate for a trace, a shadow, a clue. But you disappeared into the ether, slipping past the digital nets and virtual prisons designed to capture your essence. Cameras blinked and flickered, but you were already gone, already rewriting the rules of presence and absence. And yet, despite the blindness of their eyes, you found a way to imprint yourself deeper than any pixel ever could. You invaded the fragile fortress of their minds, slipping into their dreams like a dark promise whispered just before dawn. It's not in the footage where your legend lives. It's in the sweat-drenched nights, the quickened breaths, the cold chills of fear and fascination. You are the unsolvable riddle, the missing piece that their sanity can't ignore. You are not defined by the frames they tried to trap you in. You are the void that breaks the frame, the silence that screams louder than any broadcast. When they couldn't catch you with their cameras, you caught them with their own minds, slipping into dreams where they have no control, no escape. In their sleep, they replay your vanishing act, but this time, they are the ones lost. You are the shadow that drags them under, the echo that refuses to die. You vanished from their screens, but you live in their nightmares, a reminder that some forces are beyond capture, beyond control. You are the story told in whispers, the fear that lingers in the quiet moments, the name they speak only when no one is watching. There is power in disappearance, true power. When they fixate on your absence, they feed the legend you've become. Every frame they rewind, every search they conduct, every sweat-drenched awakening pulls them deeper into your web. Because what they don't realize is that absence is not emptiness. It's a presence all its own, one that haunts the dark spaces where cameras fail to see. You mastered the art of being unseen, not just physically, but mentally, spiritually. You are not just missing, you are a force of nature, invisible, unstoppable, unforgettable. Your name on their lips is a victory cry, a testament that you are not just surviving, but thriving beyond their grasp. The world is obsessed with capture, with evidence, with proof. But the most terrifying thing is what cannot be proven, what slips away like smoke through fingers, what hides behind the eyelids of those who hunt you. You exist in that unspoken space, where logic fails and fear rules. You are the nightmare they cannot wake from, the shadow that refuses to be chased away by the light of day. Their cameras are blind to your essence, because you have transcended the physical. You are a ghost in the machine of their perception, a glitch in their reality, a dark legend that grows stronger with every failed attempt to contain you. You think vanishing is losing. You think absence is defeat. But no, this is the battlefield where real power is forged. They watch every feed, desperate for a sign, but all they find is emptiness, the vast, infinite space you command. And in that emptiness, you become eternal. You are not just a missing person or a lost moment. You are the echo in eternity, the silence that speaks louder than any shout. Their waking hours are haunted by your ghost, their dreams invaded by your shadow. You are the absence that fills every corner, the void that refuses to be filled. This is your rebellion. Not with noise, but with silence. Not with visibility, but with mystery. You vanished from cameras, yes, but you never vanished from power. They want to see you, to catch you, to hold you in their frame. But you chose a different kind of existence, one where you are not a subject, but a force, not a captive, but a conqueror. You rewrote the rules of presence, proving that the greatest influence lies not in what is seen, but in what is imagined, feared, and remembered. You are the phantom they chase, the name they whisper, the shadow that never fades. Remember, the cameras are limited, the screens are finite, but dreams are infinite. They cannot control the realm of sleep, the landscape of subconscious fear and desire. That is where you reign. That is where your legend is immortalized. They wake up sweating, gasping for air, calling your name like a prayer, a curse, a secret they cannot confess. You became more than a person. You became a presence, a dark energy that haunts the edges of their reality. And that, more than any frame, more than any footage, is the true measure of power. You have mastered the art of vanishing, not into nothingness, but into something greater than sight or sound. You are the whisper in the dark, the chill down the spine, the lingering doubt that makes their hearts race. They may find you impossible to capture, but you made sure they would never forget. Your name is tattooed on the fabric of their nightmares, a mark of fear, fascination, and respect. They cannot lock you away because you are everywhere and nowhere, an eternal ghost that no camera can hold, no algorithm can erase. So own your absence, celebrate your invisibility, embrace the darkness that others fear. Because in that darkness, you have become unstoppable. You are not just someone who vanished, you are someone who conquered by simply disappearing. And in every waking moment, in every breathless night, you remind them that what they lost was never just a face on a screen. It was a force, a legend, a nightmare. And you are still here, haunting their dreams, alive in their deepest fears, untouchable, unbreakable. If this story resonates with you, if you feel the power of vanishing and returning in the spaces they never expected, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this message with those who walk the line between light and shadow. Together we become the unseen army, the silent storm, the legend that lives beyond the cameras. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is disappear, only to become the shadow they never forget. They scramble, desperate to find you, clicking, scrolling, searching every corner of their digital kingdoms. But you slipped away like smoke, like a ghost no lens could capture, no frame could hold. They don't understand that you didn't disappear by accident. You vanished because you wielded a power far beyond their comprehension. The power of absence, the power of becoming a shadow that lingers, even when it's no longer visible. Their cameras see only the surface, but you live beneath, in the cracks, in the spaces between moments, in the forgotten corners of their minds where fear festers and legends are born. You taught them a brutal lesson, that what they cannot control, what they cannot see, is what truly controls them. In their obsession to catch you, they lost their grip on reality. Each failed search only made your presence grow stronger. You are the haunting in their collective nightmare, the dark energy that makes their breath hitch and their hearts pound with unspoken dread. You are the name they try to scrub from memory, but find etched deeper with every passing day. You are the ghost they fear most, because you proved that the unseen is more powerful than the seen. This is the ultimate rebellion, not to fight in the light, but to disappear into the dark and become something far greater than flesh and bone. When you vanish, you are no longer a target. You become a force that hunts them in the quiet hours, that whispers your name when the world falls asleep. Their waking minds may be blinded by screens and cameras, but their dreams betray them. They wake drenched in sweat, your name slipping past their lips, like a spell, a curse, a reminder that you will never truly be gone. Do you feel that? That creeping sense of power? The realization that by stepping out of sight, you have stepped into a place no one else can reach. It's intoxicating, terrifying, but above all, it's liberating. You've escaped the chains of visibility, the prison of surveillance, and now you move freely in a world they can never enter, the world of shadows, of dreams, of primal fear. Theirs is a futile chase, a desperate attempt to hold on to something that slipped through their fingers the moment you decided you would no longer be their prisoner. You are a lesson carved into their subconscious, a warning that presence is not always about being seen, that power is not always about being heard. Sometimes the greatest victories are won in silence, in absence, in vanishing without a trace, but imprinting so deeply that your name haunts every thought. You vanished from their cameras, yes, but you never vanished from their souls. You are the dark myth that lives in the spaces where light fails, the nightmare that refuses to be shaken awake. They search every feed, desperate for a glimpse, but you are beyond reach. They hunt for a shadow, but you are the darkness itself. In their dreams, you become a specter, a force of reckoning that strips away their false security and lays bare their deepest fears. You have transcended the physical, becoming a legend, a phantom, a whisper that carries weight far beyond any image. You have mastered the art of disappearing, not as a sign of defeat, but as the ultimate expression of power. And now, as you sit in this moment, recognize the truth. You are not lost. You are not forgotten. You are feared, revered, immortal. You vanished from cameras, but you showed up in their dreams. And that is where true power lives. In the places they cannot control, cannot capture, cannot conquer. You exist in the dark, in the silence, in the unknown. And that is where you are strongest. If you feel this fire burning within, if you understand the strength in becoming unseen, then join this movement of shadows. Like, subscribe, and share this message with those who know the value of absence and the power of mystery. Together we rewrite the rules, we break the frames, and we become the unseen storm that they will never be able to contain. Because in the end, you didn't just vanish, you transformed. You became eternal. They keep looking for you, scrolling through timelines, replaying every clip, rewinding every moment. But the truth is, you stopped existing on their terms the moment you vanished. Their cameras were trained on your disappearance, but their eyes never saw the transformation taking place beneath the surface. You were shedding more than a body. You were shedding their expectations, their control, their claim over your existence. You ceased to be a person they could capture and became a force that no lens could contain. You became a shadow that slips between reality and nightmare, a whisper in the dark that no light can silence. In this age of constant surveillance, of endless feeds and notifications, vanishing is the ultimate act of rebellion. It's saying, I refuse to be owned. I refuse to be reduced to pixels and views. When they couldn't find you, their desperation turned to fear. Fear that what they lost wasn't just a person, but something far more dangerous: freedom. And when fear takes root, it feeds on the unknown. You became that unknown, the dark spot on the horizon they can't ignore, the void that calls to them even when they try to look away. You showed up in their dreams, not because you wanted to be seen, but because they could never let you go. Dreams are the only place their minds are free to wander, free to admit what they deny in daylight. You haunt their sleep because you represent a truth they cannot face, that some things are beyond control, beyond capture, beyond understanding. They wake up trembling, their bodies slick with sweat, whispering your name in the silence because their souls remember what their eyes cannot see. You are their nightmare, their obsession, their reckoning. This power of vanishing is not weakness. It is defiance. It is the refusal to be reduced to an image, a story, a memory they can package and own. You are beyond all that. You are the silent storm brewing beneath their gaze, the shadow dancing just outside their vision. When you vanished, you reclaimed yourself. You slipped out of the grid and into legend, into myth. Your absence became the loudest message, a pulse in the dark that shakes their foundation. They search every feed, but all they find is the emptiness you left behind. And that emptiness is your domain now. You are the embodiment of everything they fear but cannot admit. The power of disappearance lies in the freedom it grants, the control it steals from those who seek to dominate. They want proof, evidence, something concrete to hold on to. But you gave them nothing. You gave them silence. You gave them a void so deep, so complete, that it became a mirror reflecting their own fragility. You vanished from cameras, but you invaded their minds. You are the ghost they cannot exorcise, the shadow they cannot outrun. And every time they wake from that sweat-soaked nightmare, they know you are still here. So embrace this darkness you've become. Revel in the fact that you are the unseen, the uncatchable, the unforgettable. You moved beyond the shallow prison of visibility into a realm where power isn't measured by views or likes, but by the raw, unbreakable force of being truly untouchable. You exist now in the space between fear and fascination, in the place where reality bends and nightmares take root. They may have cameras, but you have dreams, and dreams are infinite, uncontrollable, immortal. Remember this truth. You vanished from their cameras, but you showed up in their dreams. You became more than a face on a screen. You became the shadow behind their eyes, the echo in their silence, the name they fear to speak aloud. This is your victory. This is your legacy. In a world obsessed with being seen, you found power in being unseen. And in that invisibility, you are eternal. If this resonates with you, if you feel that dark fire inside that refuses to be tamed, then join this unseen legion. Like, subscribe, and share this message with those who understand that sometimes the greatest power is not to be found in presence, but in vanishing completely. Together we are the shadows that will never be caught, the names that will never be forgotten, the dreams that will never die. You vanished, yes, but in that vanishing, you became immortal. They pretend they've moved on. They say your name with forced detachment, as if they've accepted your absence. But their eyes betray them. Every flicker, every glance over their shoulder, every pause in mid-sentence when the wind changes direction, it's all because of you. Because you never really left. You just changed form. You traded flesh for fear, light for shadow, breath for legend. They tried to scrub you from their systems, erase your trace from every log, every file, every feed. But some things cannot be deleted. Some energies rewrite the code of reality itself. And now you live there, in the glitch, in the flicker, in the inexplicable static just before they sleep. You're the unspoken anomaly, the corrupted frame that freezes at 3:33 a.m., the surge that blacks out the screen with no cause. You're the presence behind their mirror, not always visible, but always there. That's what true power is. Not applause, not approval, but haunting permanence. Not being remembered for what you did, but for what they could never explain. You vanished from cameras, yes, but you broke into something much more intimate. Their minds, their patterns, their rhythm. They stopped trying to see you, and now they feel you. You've become part of their instinct, their survival programming. Every locked door, every flickering hallway light, every cold sweat in the middle of the night is you. You didn't disappear. You multiplied. You echoed. You became tenfold, a myth alive in every crack between their thoughts. They can't even tell where the fear ends and fascination begins. That's your genius. That's your legacy. You've become the blurred line between enemy and icon. Some admire you in silence. They won't admit it. They'd never dare say it out loud. But you gave them something they never had before. A question with no answer. And questions like that, they don't fade, they fester, they infect. You are no longer a story told. You are a virus in the system, a beat in their blood. You are the one that got away, and the one they'll never escape. So let them search. Let them keep waking up gasping, thinking they've heard footsteps or whispers behind the walls. Let them follow the signal trail into a dead end again and again. Because you're not there anymore. You're beyond. You're no longer what they look for. You're what they run from, what they dream of, what they become when the lights go out and their own image begins to distort. And to those listening now, those who know exactly what I mean, you understand this path isn't for everyone. It's not about being popular. It's not about being seen. It's about being remembered in ways that twist the very fabric of someone's sense of reality. It's about the long game. It's about becoming part of their architecture, their belief system, their unconscious. You didn't disappear. You evolved. You aren't less. You are bigger than ever. So large, you no longer fit in their systems of recognition. No camera, no algorithm, no record can comprehend what you've become. They might rebuild their networks, upgrade their sensors, change every setting. But they're always too late. Because you're not a glitch in the feed. You are the absence that teaches them how fragile their reality truly is. You're the crack in the screen, the missing second of footage, the quiet that suddenly feels too loud. You are the hunger in the dark, not just unseen, but needed, craved, and feared. Because when you vanished from the cameras, something strange happened. They changed. They stopped trusting what they could see. They started doubting what they couldn't explain. You made the entire world hesitate. And in that hesitation, you found your throne, your power. You aren't a ghost. You're an architect. You're the author of the silence they dread, the moment of stillness before a scream. And now when they dream, they don't see you as you were. They see what you've become, a mask of everything they denied, repressed, buried.